I'm excited. Welcome to my plant room. I never thought that I would have a plant room, partly because plant rooms look very expensive. I mean, the lights, the shelves, and then just having enough plants to fill in all of that space. So I never thought that I would ever get a plant room. And I decided to start a plant room with what I have and with a few extra things. So this is a plant room on a budget.
I have so much to share about this project. Visit my Patreon and become a tiered member to gain access to the extended video. Here I share all the details on the project, including some of the tips and tricks that I did to reduce cost. I even shared some of the bumps that I experienced along the way.
Okay, so let's start with the main event. Up here is like a canvas with some pictures of plants on it. It's one of the only pieces of plant art that I have. Plants make me happy is what it says. I got it a few years ago from HomeSense in Canada. This is a plant that I'm not quite sure if I will permanently leave in this space, and this is my Scindapsus trubii Moonlight. So this plant started off well for me, and recently it started sort of giving smaller leaves, etc. And I think it was getting just a little bit too much light. So I decided to put it up here where it's not getting any direct light from the grow lights and it's sort of trailing off to the side a little bit. It also needs to be repotted. So that's sort of up there to remind me. Eventually, I want to put plants up here, and I have spotlights from IKEA that I've already purchased that I'm going to sort of highlight, sort of shine in this direction on the top shelf, and then I could put more plants up top. But for now, this is how this top shelf is going to be. And also up here, I'm not going to put a lot of light-loving plants because let me show you the existing fixture. With this fixture so far away, I don't think the grow lights are going to be close enough in order to make a significant impact on the plants. Over here, I have my Philodendron Brazil. Happy, doing well, growing. I just thought it would be nice to put it down in this corner here to sort of to balance off the top. And as you already know, up here, I still have my Barrina grow light. So this is something that I already owned, like I would have mentioned earlier. And I decided, just to make things easier, just to put the whole grow light facing down. So I did keep that. And then in the middle here, I have some plants that love highlight. So mostly Hoya here and two philodendrons.
In the back, I have the last of my Hoya Willeniana inner variegated. I recently repotted it. Not sure if it's gonna make it, but you know, when all else fails, light, light, light.
So yes, my Hoya Hushkaliana inner variegated. Yes, it's looking good. And someone was telling me recently when I showed a picture that it looks as if it was wrinkling, and no, darling, it is very happy, no wrinkling here. It's doing just fine. And then in the back, I have my Hoya sigillatus in the back, sort of standing up there. And then in the front, I just love the variegation on this plant. And before I had it in a different spot because I didn't want it to get too much light so that it will have all variegated leaves, but who am I kidding? It needs to be front and center. This is my Philodendron Florida Beauty. Look at this recent leaf that it gave me. Ooh, look at that beautiful leaf. So this here is my Philodendron Florida Ghost. And this one, this little baby, it loves so much light. Put it up there. And then let's go to the left. So on the left, I have this area here. My mom says I can't remember the word she used, but she says it's too full. So eventually I'm gonna have to shift this area around a little bit. So in the back, I have my Philodendron Jose Buono, and it just pushed out. I feel like this leaf wasn't even fully finished hardening off yet, and it already pushed out this beautifully glossy leaf. It seems to like this spot. And then behind it, I have my Philodendron Florida Wizard Florida Wizard, my philodendron white wizard. And I'm surprised, but pleasantly surprised that despite this very bright light, the latest leaf, let's see if I can get it, is a bit on the greener side. And I'm glad, because the plant does need to photosynthesize. The leaf before that was quite variegated, but I think this leaf was already done sort of cooking or done baking before I put it under this bright light. So I don't know what other expression to use. But anyways, I have it sort of leaning and taped up to the shelf here. And down here, I have my Xanthosoma lindenii. This is not like, this plant doesn't need a whole lot of light. So I think it's fine facing forward like this. Then in the middle is sort of the scene where it all happened. This area was so full before, but here's the damage. So sad. But this was so much more full, and it makes me a little sad, but anyways. And in the back, I have this humidifier by Asa Cookie. That's the brand. I just put it in today.
Funny enough, I needed a humidifier for this space, and Asa Cookie reached out and asked if I wanted to give their humidifier a try. They're not sponsoring this video and they didn't pay me to show the product, but I thought I'd share with you what the product looked like when I unboxed it and what it was like when I was setting it up in my space. I've used it for a few days and I actually like it. It's a good size for my room. Sometimes I notice humidity droplets forming on my window. And one thing is, if you set it all the way to high, it's not going to last the 3 days, but high is actually plenty for my room. So I think medium would be the perfect setting.
I put it here so that the flow can go up between the glass here so that it could sort of satisfy this area. And then in the front is my Alocasia Frydek. The petiole is quite short, so this tells me that hopefully it's getting a good amount of light and that it's okay, hopefully. And then in the back, I have my philodendron Ring of Fire. This is its newest leaf, and again, it used to be on the other side and I moved it on this side, and so I, clipped it. That's the con or the challenge of keeping these bars. I think it was Wild Fern. I saw when she built hers, she excluded the front bar so she could move plants in and out easily. It was brilliant. And when I already built it and then I thought of it and then I went back at it and then, I was like, it was too hard to get it out. In the long run, I think I'm happy with it this way because it gives support to some plants that need support. So it's bittersweet. This is a philodendron verrucosum. And this is what I mean, because I put it here next to this standing Barrina grow light so that the leaves would face this way, but it's still pulling towards that grow light up there. So that's fine. But anyways, look at this. It's so pretty. So pretty. Anyways, that's this plant here. And then next to it, I have my standing Barrina grow light. The only grow light that I've purchased for this entire setup. I mean, the only grow light I've kept, I've returned the others. And so it's working beautifully. I love this grow light so much. Love it, love it, love it. And so that's my Monstera Thai constellation in front. It's looking good. It's looking healthy overall. And then down below, I've put my Manjula Pothos that's either ready for the moss pole to go upwards, like make a second moss pole, or ready to be chopped. And because this leaf is quite green, I'm thinking of chopping this and either selling it or gifting it to someone. But right now it's just gonna lean there. In the middle, I have some Pothos Neon, Marble Queen, Pothos growing in water. And then over here, I have my very sad looking Alocasia. That's okay. I think it'll recover. The third row, my Hoya shelf. In the back, I have my Hoya Michele Splash, and they are being serviced by two grow lights. So one, this is a Barrina grow light here, and then a space, deliberate space, and then another Barrina grow light on this side. I have my Hoya Silver Lady, and I must say the Hoya, their growth have exploded. I could see, I was always like, I don't like grow lights. Not that I don't like grow lights, but I just didn't like having to depend on grow lights, but they're so satisfying because your plants literally just explode when you get them. And they love being this close to the grow light compared to my other setup. Anyways, in the front, I have a Hushkeliana inner variegated because you know me. And then I have a Hoya Fishtail is like the street name, but the Polynera Broguet or Broguette, some people call it that. And then I have next to it a reverted Hoya latifolia Snow Queen, and I just have them in sort of sharing this saucer here, but activated 2 nodes here, and oh man, this thing is just so happy and pushed out a new vine, activated both. Oh my goodness, the thing is just so happy. This is another victim of the plant crash. This was beautiful. It was so long and pretty before. I chopped it up and put it in here. And then I have in the back my Hoya, what's it called? My Hoya Rhyme Splash. Behind it is a Hoya Walliniana, non-variegated. And then in the front of that, I have, I can't remember the name of that now. Propagating, doing well. It's loving the extra light. And then a Propagation, or just something I've just had in here for so long that needs to be a potted of Hoya Babata Splash. In the front here, I have a very happy Hoya Bella, and it's pushing out all of these little peduncles. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. Focus on the peduncle. It has so many peduncles. This plant is popular or known for being a generous bloomer. So I'm glad that it's doing well. And then in the back, I have a reverted Hoya Carnosa, just a Hoya Carnosa. Reverted. And then in the back, I have my Hoya Cloudy Sky, my Hoya Wemani Cloudy Sky. And in the front is my Hoya Velosa. And then over here, I have my Hoya Rangsan over here. And then in front of it, I don't remember the name. I'm never going to remember the name of this. So I'm just going to have to put the name of this on the screen. This was a gift from Jenna. And then over here, I have my Hoya Vietnam, I believe this is. And in the back, I have my Hoya Lacunosa inner variegated. Behind that is my Hoya Tequila Sunrise, happily pushing out a new leaf. And then in the front is my Hoya Carnosa Wilbur Graves China, also doing well, pushing out this new leaf here. And then my recently repotted Hoya Mathilde Splash. And in the middle is my Hoya Wilbur Graves Russia, pushing out some new growth. Again, so much new growth since these plants have been under the grow lights. How's the video going so far? Like what you see? If you do, let me know by hitting the thumbs up button down below. And I have a good feeling you may like my channel. Consider subscribing. It's free and it'll help you to easily access my videos in the future. Let's keep going. So over here, this is a Hoya Snowy Silver. I couldn't remember the name earlier, but now I can remember. And this one, it just came to me. This is a Hoya Gunangatting. Okay, so down here, I have a Hoya Obavata Splash. Not a whole lot of splash, but a little bit of splash. I've had this for over 6 months, and this is its first, I want to say successful, because all the other leaves have not gotten this far, but that's the first new leaf. Again, light. And in the back here, my Monstera Stanleyana wannabe albo. It's supposed to be an albo, but I've chopped off so much of the albo leaves that there's not a lot of variegation left. Here I have my dolphins, string of dolphins. This has done so much better since I've put it here. I almost lost it. And so I'm waiting for the lower leaves to sort of mature, and then I'm gonna stick them back in and create some more plants to fill this out and hopefully hang it up somewhere when I feel like it's really mature. And here we have what's left of my Hoya. I don't even remember the name of it, but I'll put a picture and I'll put up the name. I think it's my Hoya Rebecca, the one that I've always complained about in my hard Hoya video. This is what's left of it. Yes, it's still hard. Okay, and then over here I have some more alocasia black velvet in leca, and yep, just leca. Over here I have one of the pothos that's variegated. I can never remember if it's the Pros and Jade or Enjoy. I can never remember, but it's in here growing in water. And down here is my Hoya obovata Splash. You would have remembered that I chopped this guy recently. It was one long growth, one long vine, and I chopped it. I actually do regret that, but not a lot, not a lot. I just do regret it. Thankfully, it's been about 2 weeks, I think. I haven't lost any leaves yet, but sometimes I tug on this just ever so slightly to see if it's rooted yet. It's not. So I still add just a little bit of water at the top just to keep that substrate moist. So hopefully it'll root up, but no sign of yellowing leaves just yet. And none of the little leaves that were up here have fallen off. At the bottom, I have my Philodendron El Choco Red. And then here I just have some plants propagating in water. I can't believe how quickly this rooted. This is my Lacunosa mint coin. The leaves look terrible, but it's rooting, so that's hopeful. And a Wimani Cloudy Sky. And over here, I almost passed right over it. I finally got a Hoya compactor. I know. So many of you said I shouldn't be scared of Hoya compactors. So as you can imagine, I think I just got it yesterday. I sprayed it down significantly. And then it's sort of isolating here somewhat. I know it's close to that, but yeah, I'm just gonna have it here and I keep my eye on it quite a bit. It's not just a variegated Hoya, scram. It's like a Mauna Loa. There's something a little bit special. It's not just a variegated one. Compactor. There's something unique about the name. I don't remember. I just saw that it was variegated and I took it. Well, I bought it. I didn't take it. I bought it. But anyways, that's it here. The newest addition to my collection. This area here. This is what this area changes a little bit. I'm not quite sure if it's 100% how I want it to be yet, but this is what it looks like so far. So here I have at the top my huge pothos, my marble queen neon pothos that used to live in my kitchen area. I just think it looks so pretty cascading down. And here we get some direct sunlight in the afternoon, west facing sun. So I think it's getting enough light from the grow lights here and from the west facing window. I think it'll be just fine here. And here I used to have my Barrina grow lights slanted across. Nancy sent me these lights. And so I decided to try them here, pointing at my Hoya and then pointing down at the plants below. I do wish they were white, but that's okay. They are sort of serving that purpose. It helps me to encourage the plants to point forward, to point this way. That's what I like about this setup so far, but we'll see how long I keep it here for. We'll see. But yes, I do have a code for them. If you want to get Sansi lights and you want a discount on them, I have a code for 32% off. It'll be in the description. And then next, I have my Hoya Carnosa Freckles Splash here. You've seen it recently because I repotted it recently. It has not fully recovered from its repotting as yet. And so it's still sort of working on things. So yeah. And then over here, I have my Hoya Lacunosa mint coin still. This one still isn't 100% yet since I repotted it. So it's still recovering. So that's why I have the lights pointed on it. And then here is my Hoya Joy Splash. This needs to be repotted. I think the Joy really enjoyed my Barrina grow lights because it started sun stressing here. But anyways, let's try this and see how the plants here fare. And in the back, I have my Hoya Patricia, which seems to be doing okay. And then I decided to bring up my Monstera Adansonii just because it was on my dining table and I just think it needed to come off my dining table. So I decided to put it here. I'm not in love with it here, especially because I think it's not getting enough light from these grow lights. I do think I need to angle one towards it a little bit. There we go. And yeah, these Sansi lights do have their own timer on it, but I'm not using their timer. I'm using my own timer. That way I can control it on my app and everything. And then down here, here's what I did. And this is my Xanadu, my Thamatophyllum Xanadu. I split it because it was drying up just way too quickly in one pot. So I split them up, put them in separate pots, but I still put the pots together side by side. So I still get that very full look, but they're divided. So it doesn't dry out as quickly as it used to. And then over here, I have one of my Ficus elasticas. This is my burgundy. It's sort of hiding my planty stuff in the back there. I'm not gonna go too low because I don't want you to see my mess. Boom, my mess. And I kept one of my standing pressure rods. The other one is in my bathroom. The next time I do a houseplant tour, you'll get to see that. Philodendron White Princess. I believe that's what this is here. And then my Syngonium red spot tricolor is living here. And then one of my only Scindapsus pictus. I believe this is a pictus. And then here are the lights that I plan to put up on the ceiling. So you'll see it now. This is from IKEA. This is the Håkan Olsen. So it's round and it has 3 spotlights in it. And I got it in white to sort of match the room. And I was hoping the Sansi grow lights would fit in here, but they don't. They were a bit too big. So I had to buy, which is hard to find, the size grow lights that fit in here. So yeah, so we'll see if tomorrow my plan works because the lights should be coming in tomorrow. And so I'll pop them in here and hopefully my husband will install it and we'll see how it works. So that's it. This is my official plant room.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I appreciate you spending some of your day with me. If you liked this video, you may like some of my other content and you can subscribe by clicking on the image of my face. Before we go, I just want to also give a special thanks to our channel Patreons. There's Rachel in the Diamond Falls tier and Lainey in the Pigeon Island tier.